50, 45, there goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 385. And Elvis, we have a new winner at the Masters. Scotty Scheffler gets his second Masters and his fifth start of Augusta. 2 for 5 in one of the most prestigious courses in the United States. Shout out Scotty Scheffler. Just won it. He won by 4 shots, finished with the lead. What a turn of events, Key. How you doing?
Yeah, Dell, give credit to, it was a dominant performance by him, Dell. He came in as the favorite. And to
Mm-hmm.
be honest, it was his tournament to lose, to be honest. I didn't expect him to be that dominant. Yeah, I'm not saying I expected him to win because, come on now. But
Yeah.
just because it's the Masters, but the fact that he was the favorite and he dominated the tournament through, maybe not the first day, but second day on, he kind of took it over. So give credit to him, Dell. And it was just a jam-packed week in the sports. Last NBA day today, so the playoffs are set. Dell, let's talk about it.
Yo, we'll talk about the NBA regular season, or you mean National Blowout Association, because today was just awful. Everyone's getting blown out. But yeah, Scotty Scheffler, first round 66, shot a 68 today. He finished 4 shots against Ludwig. Tommy Fleetwood actually came out, and he had a really good performance. He finished tied for third with Max Homa. Colin Morikawa, he finished tied for third as well. Cameron Smith, he winded up winning. Overall, it was a pretty good day. Tiger made the cut again for the 24th consecutive year. Scotty Scheffler, he hit me for me, top 10 finish. Willie Z, top 10 finish. So 4-4 on the day. Brooks Koepka, what he did not start off really well for me. So 4-4 on our first ever Masters preview. So looking forward to covering it next year as well. But yeah, like you said, it was a very jam-packed weekend. We'll start in the NBA. Today was the last day of the regular season. Seedings have all finished and everything. And yeah, the final regular season day recap. Celtics won by 10. Charlotte won by 10. Indiana won by 42. Philly won by 21. Miami won by 15. Orlando won by 25. Phoenix won by 19. OKC won by 49. San Antonio won by 28. Kings won by 39. It was National Blowout Day, kid.
Yeah, every game it was just to be honest, it was not entertaining, Dale. Even the Laker game, that was on at 3:30, it got nasty from the get go. So even though the Pelicans they were live for the 6th seed, Dale, they win the game. They have the 6th seed. The Suns would have been the 7th, and they just came out, just flat out flat. It just
Yeah.
was unimpressive to me. So give credit to the Lakers for walking in there, and basically just shutting down the entire Pelicans team. Besides, one bright spot was Brandon Ingram coming back from injury. He looked like
Mm-hmm.
his old self, especially in the first half. So that's the only bright side for the Pelicans, honestly. And then for the Lakers, we saw Anthony Davis leave the game late with some type of like back spasm, some lower back injury. Nothing that seems too serious, but let's see what the news tell us tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Wojnarowski was basically saying that, the initial belief is Anthony Davis is expected or experienced hip and back spasms after being pushed in the air by Larry Nance Jr. He landed awkwardly, so he definitely should be able to go on Tuesday. But yeah, we are all set. The number 1 seed in the West. What a season for the OKC Thunder, 57-25. They were great at home, 33-8. They finished the season with a 5-game winning streak, and they do edge out the Nuggets. They had the tiebreaker, and they get the number 1 seed. Just talk about what a turnaround this for a team this was.
Yeah, Del, we know what Shy was able to do. We knew the talent, the young talent OKC has, but nobody expected this. I think their over under was like 40, 41 and a half wins. I took the over deal, but nobody expected 50 plus wins, 57 wins at that. And then the number one overall first seed, Dale. We knew Chet Holmgren could potentially be something special. We know both Williams are developed into something really nice. The role pieces they got around, and then Shy, he's just a flat out scorer. Though he just became a superstar. To me, he should be a front runner for MVP. I know Jokic is the
Mm.
heavy favorite, but Josh at least get some votes. He got the number one seed. Look where he brought his team last year to this year. So I just feel like we got to give Shy his flowers for accomplishing something not just so great, but at such a young age. When nobody saw this coming, we expected Denver to be a high seed. So give
Mhm.
credit to OKC. I did not see that coming. I expected to be good, but not number one seed good. Though, to be honest, that's shocking. Shout out to all the loyal OKC fans throughout the years.
Yeah, because they definitely got themselves a team now. I did not
For the
expect that.
for
We
the
did.
future too.
Yeah,
It's
for
gonna
the
be for a
future as
while.
well.
Yeah.
We thought Denver was going to get that number one seed, and I do think they still are the best team in the West. But can't discredit anything they accomplished this season. And with Chet Holmgren coming back healthy, I thought that was the big factor as well. But yeah, Shy definitely deserves to be up there in the MVP candidate. But overall, I thought it was a very good. I thought the right teams got in. Warriors, they barely I mean, they fell kind of, if I'm being honest. I thought they were going to have a better season. I thought they were kind of disappointing. Sacramento going from a team that won the division, coming all the way down to the ninth seed, having to play the Warriors now in a very tough game in the play-in. I thought they had a disappointing season. I thought down the stretch, I thought New Orleans kind of slipped as well. They let Phoenix take that number 6 spot. Dallas and with Luka and Kyrie, I thought that's a matchup I personally never thought was going to work out. Two ball dominant people, but man, Luka he's another guy that deserves to be in the MVP candidate as well. Clippers, getting James Harden, that actually helped them, even though they are going into the playoffs on a 3-game losing streak. I still don't worry about them. They got the 4th seed. So I guess biggest surprise besides the OKC Thunder, biggest surprise in the West and biggest disappointment.
I'm gonna say biggest disappointment got to be the Memphis Grizzlies. Still, we know Ja was gonna be
Mm.
suspended for the first 20-25 games of the season, but for the fact that the Grizzlies, 2 years ago being what number, I think they're number one overall seed 2 years ago, or the second seed, and then last year, having a good, had a good season, ran into the Lakers in round one, and then just flat out, getting hurt. We know they let go of Dylan Brooks in the off season. Marcus Smart got traded away. So for the fact that you were, not just a top seed 2 years ago, but playoff team for back-to-back years, and then just not even make the play on this year. To me, that was a major disappointment for Memphis, just because how good they were these past 3 seasons. And I say the biggest surprise they'll got to be OKC, or if not the Timberwolves. Still, like we knew the Timberwolves are going to be good, but one game out of the number one seed, 56 wins, we didn't expect them to be that good. We saw Anthony Edwards take that next step. Rudy Gobert looking like he's not locking in another defensive player of the year. I like what Minnesota was doing this year. There, I expect it to be good, but not this good. So I'm gonna say biggest disappointment Memphis, just because when Ja is healthy, we know how special they could be, and then Minnesota and OKC, just because I expect them to be good, but not this soon.
Yeah, not this soon. It was definitely an unreal season for OKC. It's very interesting that you went with Minnesota. I didn't expect
Memphis,
you to. Yeah, yeah. What did I say? Minnesota,
Minnesota, yeah.
Memphis. Yeah, yeah. So Memphis, I didn't actually expect you to go there. It's interesting that you say that. I know they lost today, but Gigi Jackson, star in the
Yeah,
making. I mean, 44 points, 12 boards. Kid's gonna be legit. They have some talent. Jaws coming back. He's gonna be fully healthy. Desmond Bain is good. Jared Jackson. They got Scottie Pippen Jr. They got some pieces, I would say. Definitely, we expect a better season next year, right?
yeah, Dale. But think about it. To go 27-55 after
They're gonna have a good pick, no?
yeah, they're gonna have a good pick, Bill Dale. But having three consecutive playoff runs, it's just a disappointing. Their over under this year had to be like at least 46, 47,
Yeah,
maybe
46,
44.
47.
think it was 44 and a half.
Yeah, definitely went under that. But now if we look on the East, really good, think that obviously the best team in the league obviously is the Boston Celtics by a wide margin, 64 and 18. They were amazing at home. They only lost 4 games at home, 37 and 4, even on the road, 27 and 14. The Knicks getting the number 2 seed, 50 wins. Only last time they got 50 wins when they made the Eastern Conference Final back in 2013. Finished the season hot, 5-game winning streak. They've been kind of solid on at home and on the road. Bucks, they finished with the 3rd seed. Cleveland, the 4th. Orlando with the 5th. Indiana Pacers, 6th. Watch out for Philly. 8 wins in a row
Yeah.
coming into the play-in. They finished in the 7th seed. They'll play Miami in the play-in at the 18, and then the 9 and the 10 is the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. Elvis, same question. Biggest surprise and biggest disappointment here on the East?
This one's a little tougher, Dill. And to be honest, I think the biggest disappointment is the second half for the Milwaukee Bucks. Still, the fact that we saw how this team was, continue with hiccups. Think about it. The Bucks are -4 on the road. They're 18 and
Yeah.
22 on the road. Like, you're not a championship contender if you're not above 500 on the road. So it was just so many things, especially the second half since Doc River took over, that we thought the Bucks are gonna take off, and they never did. So I'm gonna say the biggest disappointment has to be the Bucks, especially the second half after starting 30 and 13. Think
And
about it, they
then
started
fired their coach.
and then fired their coach. So I'm gonna say the Milwaukee Bucks, even though they're the 3rd seed, like it's just been downhill since the All Star break. And then the biggest surprise, honestly, Dill, I'm gonna have to go with your Knicks as the number 2 seed.
Oh, wow.
You know,
I wasn't expecting that.
to be honest, can it be the Magic as the 5th seed? Yeah, let's give the Magic some love. We both expected the Magic to be good, but a top 5 seed, I think that's impressive. But I don't think you even expect. I don't even think the great Stephen A. Smith expected the
Yeah.
Knicks to be the 2nd overall seed. So, gotta give the Knicks credit. I gotta give the Magic credit for even since the White Howard. I don't think the Magic has ever been this high seeded. So, give credit
Mm.
to the young squad in Orlando too. So, I think those are my biggest takeaways.
Orange and blue skies. Yeah, it looks nice. I mean, I wouldn't even have thought we were going to get the number 2 seed, if I'm being honest. I thought we were going to be anywhere in that 4 to 6 range like we
Mm-hmm.
were last year. But, like you said, Milwaukee wasn't good. Cleveland kind of faded late in the season. Orlando got hit with the bug injury. Indiana plays no defense. So, besides the number 1 seed, the East was kind of wide open for the Knicks this season, and we kind of banked on playing good defense, hitting some shots. It's going to suck without Julius Randle, but, OG's back. And Jalen Brunson, I think he's the biggest surprise. He has to be the best point guard in the East right now. And can we put some respect on it? It's no more Damian Lillard. It's Jalen Brunson. Is that correct?
It's hard to disagree right now, Dill. When you talk about accolades and all that, you can't just discredit Dame from the conversation. But with Jalen Brunson's season, when he was able to do, I think we averaged 31 points, 30 points a game, something like that. 2nd overall seed, Knicks winning 50 games, first time since Melo 2012, 2013, something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to give it to Jalen Brunson for at least this season.
Yeah, I mean, what he did today, I mean, look at the stats he put up today, kid. Well, the King 23, 10, and 17 today, but Jalen Brunson, his shot making ability, the way he's been able to dish it out to Donovan DiVincenzo, to Josh Hart, even coming off the bench. 40 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, what can't this guy do? And for everyone that harps on his size, I mean, he really shows in, night out that size isn't really a factor here in the NBA, correct?
Yeah, Del, at the end of the day, he's one of the premier scorers in the NBA, especially this year. Honestly, the past 2 seasons, even in that playoff run when the Mavericks went to the Western Conference Finals, still we saw
It's
what
got him paid.
yeah, we seen what Jalen Brunson is able to do. And talking about paid, I can honestly make the case he's one of the under the most underpaid players in the NBA. Honestly, Just
Yeah,
because look at the numbers, look what his team is seated at, and I think this man only got what 4 year 120. I'm just getting
something
30.
like that.
He deserves at least a nice bump to about 50.
I can't wait till he gets a contract because he deserves all of that and more. But yeah, like Ed's saying in the chat, man, Halliburton is better than Damian Lillard right now, and Jalen Brunson is better than both of them. Halliburton kind of had a
He
slow
fell
start to
off
the second half. He did.
ever since like
Yeah.
the in season tournament. That's when the Pacers honestly peaked in that
Yeah.
in season tournament. They ran into the Lakers and they kind of fell off ever since then. Can the Pacers make a playoff run first round against the Cleveland Cavaliers? Still, I think that's gonna be tough. I think it's a good matchup for them to try to advance, but I think it's a tough one.
Let's talk about this series because the Magic are underdogs in this series, plus
No,
165.
no,
Cavs.
Pacers
Oh,
play the
Pace.
Cavs. No,
No,
Pacers
Pacers play
play
the
the
Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Orlando play Cleveland.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that. Cleveland and Magic. Cleveland minus 195, Magic plus 165. I really don't like the Magic right now. I think they're getting hit at the worst time with the Franz injury. And I think Cleveland has enough with Jared Jackson. I think their size is going to give the Magic some issue. If they could stop Paulo Banchero, I think they'll have a good shot at advancing and getting out of this first round. Who do you like here between this fourth and fifth seed matchup?
To be honest, though, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers have some revenge in them. We know they lost last year in a tough playoff series when they were favored against your Knicks. Still, to be honest, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Cavs just because even though it's just little playoff experience, they have that playoff experience. Orlando Magic got nothing. Donovan Mitchell has been in those playoff battles when he went 50 points back to back, and he couldn't get past the first round. I think this is the first time we see Donovan Mitchell pass the first round. I think it's a good matchup for Cleveland. Give Orlando credit for making it this far, being this high of a seed. But like you said, you got Jared Allen, you got Evan Mobley, you still got Darius Garland doing what he got to do, even though he hasn't have a productive season like he did last season, he still could give you those numbers night in and night out. So with Spidey, healthy Spidey, though, I think he could. Remember, I was hammering it last year, and you started telling me last playoff run. I'm telling you right now, people take Spidey over each game. He's gonna put up 35 to 40 points a game just because he's gonna put the team on his shoulders. So I gotta go with Cleveland in the series. Though I think
My
Cleveland probably wins in 6. I'm gonna give Orlando
my
2 games.
My worry is if they don't play good and they have another hiccup like they did last season against the Knicks. My worry is that they're not Donovan Mitchell's going to one out. If they get bounced in the first round, he's out of Cleveland.
Yeah. Still, Donovan Mitchell wants to win. He's a baller. We saw all the years in Utah where he tried giving it his all in the first round, and then last year was a tough series. To be honest, the Knicks were just a flat out better team last year. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are the better team against, especially in the matchup against the Magic. It's just, can they get upset? Like they got upset last year, but it wasn't as surprising. If they lose to the Magic this year, that would be kind of shocking.
Yeah, I think the experience will come into factor for the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a young team that both of us really like in the Magic, but it's going to be a year or two, I think, before they get their feet underneath. It'll be the first playoffs for the Franz Wagner brothers, also Paulo Banchero. So we'll see how they treat, or they'll just maybe embody it and they embrace the big moment and they really shine out. But I agree. I like Cleveland here. Not the minus 195, though. I'll take them on the spread series. Cleveland minus 1.5 games. You're getting it at plus 125 as well. So I do like that play. I think they take care of them. Let's go to a matchup in the West that I think is really interesting between the Clippers and the Mavericks, the 4 seed and the 5 seed. Right now, it's a pick of minus 110 both ways for the series winner. We talk about James Harden giving this team a little depth and that little boost that they needed. They went on that nice big win streak in the first half of the season with them. They kind of fell off a little. Now they kicked into stride going into the playoffs. But the Mavs with Kyrie and the way Luka's been playing, I don't think Clippers have a player on their team better than Luka is playing right now. And that is my worry. I think Luka is going to take over this series, and I'm actually going to take the Mavs here, kid. I just think right now they're playing a little better of basketball. I know the Clippers are a little deeper They probably have a better coach as well, but I'm gonna take Luca and Kyrie. I think they're just too dominant as a combo.
Yeah, Dell. I'm gonna have to agree just because in the last month of just basketball, the Dallas Mavericks has been one of the best teams in the league. Like you said, Kyrie and Luca are finally clicking. Luca's been playing at an unbelievable level. Led the league in points per game. I think about 34 a game. Kyrie's coming into his own. And to be honest, though, nobody's really talking about it. Dallas Mavericks has been a top 10 defense ever since the All Star, since the trade deadline. They've been a
Hmm.
top 10 defense. Kawhi Washington. So I just feel with the Clippers, is Kawhi gonna be 100%? What is Paul George gonna be? He's gonna be playoff P or he's gonna be playoff P? So it's all those question marks. Is Russ gonna, is he gonna up his minutes off the bench? Is he just gonna stay around the same role he's at now? Are we gonna get playoff James Harden? Or are we gonna get, James Harden we saw throughout the season? Because if we get playoff James Harden, we like don't get me wrong. Game one last year against Boston, he went off 40, 50 points. They win. Look at the next 5 games. Like,
Yeah.
James Harden he could go in and out. He could give you one huge game. He could give you, 35, 12, and 7. And then the next 2, 3 games, he's giving you 8 to 12 points, with 8 assists. So those are the question marks I gotta see. Can the Clippers win this series? Absolutely. But from the past month, just watching basketball, Dallas Mavericks is clearly playing at just a higher level. And as of late, they're the better team.
Yeah, I mean, we know Luka's going to give you 25 to 30 a night.
No,
Kyrie's
he's
going to
giving you
give you
35 to 40 a night.
yeah.
He averaged
I mean, he
34.
34, 9, and
He
it was
averaged
9.8
34.
assists.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So 34, 9, and 10 he averaged. I mean, the guy's a walking triple double. Kyrie's going to give you anywhere from 25 to 30. I think the key guy for this team that if one of them, if they do wind up controlling them and just locking one of them down, Tim Hardaway Jr. He needs
Yeah.
to show up here. He's their third option. He gives you anywhere from 15 to 20 a game where Luka or Kyrie's just not having it. That's their way to win. Even a PJ Washington, that's who they went and
Mm-hmm.
traded for. He needs to step up as well. Derek Lively, a guy they drafted and think very highly of, he needs to step up and have a good game or a good series as well. So there are some guys, at key matchups or key players I think that need to step up, but I just don't think Kawhi and Paul George are going to step up to the plate like Luka and Kyrie are. And I'm going to bank on my money for the Dallas Mavericks. So, and a pick 'em, give me the Dallas Mavericks. And let's go to another series in the West, and it's going to be the Timberwolves taking on the
Ooh.
Suns. Very, very interesting matchup. Suns, the 6 seed, 49 and 33. Timberwolves, the number 3 seed, 56 and 26. Karl Anthony Towns is back. The Phoenix Suns are actually the favorite, minus 115 on the series bet, minus 105 short dogs for the higher seed. Are you surprised that the Timberwolves are the underdog in this series?
Absolutely not, though. We saw the Phoenix Suns just go out there and dominate them today. Karl Anthony Towns was there, Rudy Gobert was there, Anthony Edwards was there, Michael Conley. Everybody was there, though. And the Phoenix Suns look good. Bradley Beal had himself a huge first half, had himself a game. Devin Booker does what he does. Kevin Durant does what he does. Then you got the role players like the Grayson Allens of the world. So to be honest, Dale, I'm going with Phoenix to win the series at minus 120. Dale, I just feel like the playoff experience is gonna be key. Can the Timberwolves win this series? Absolutely, Dale. But at the end of the day, you gotta control or at least try to slow down Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. We saw them through the last year's playoff run. They were averaging 70 points a game combined, something
Yeah.
like Devin Booker was shooting like 80% from the field. So if Devin Booker gets cooking like that, there's no telling, Dale. And let's not forget Frank Vogel, the head coach. He at times he could clamp down. He could shut down the offensive side for the Minnesota. He's nifty like that, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Dale, I'm gonna give the Phoenix Suns a very good chance to win this series. They'll give me the Suns to win the series minus 120. I think they get it done in 6 or 7. Dale, I think
This
it
is a
goes six or
very
seven.
This is a very tough matchup first round for the Suns, I think, because I think if there's one team with size, length, and defensive capability, I think it is this Minnesota team. Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert down low, Karl Anthony Towns coming back healthy. Um, you got even a guy like Jaden McDaniels at the 4. He's a very long, lengthy guy that they could put. They could throw a lot of different bodies on a KD, on a Devin Booker, on Bradley Beal. So I think if one of them goes cold, they're going to force KD or Devin Booker, I think, to beat them. And if it's a one-man show, I just don't know if Phoenix has the depth and offensive power to beat them in a series. I'm actually going to go the opposite way. I'm going to take Minnesota here because I think they're a deeper team, with Reed, Michael Conley, Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson, shout out Patterson Catholic. I mean, they just have the experience. And I think this time in the playoffs, Anthony Edwards is just going to take the team on his back. And I think they're going to beat the Suns. So I'm going to take the Minnesota Timberwolves here in this series. But yeah, there's just a few games that I like that are up right now. Besides the other one, Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Indiana Pacers. The Bucks are minus 265, Pacers plus 210. Any value here, I guess you're going to have to take them on the spread series if you would want to get any value out of this. But you're giving any chance to Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers here?
No, Dill. I'm gonna take uh total games in series 5 at plus 210. Dill. I think the Bucks win this series in 5, even without Giannis and his injury. Dill. I think Dame and Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, Brooke Lopez in the supporting cast could still handle the Pacers. The Pacers, they're solid. I guarantee they'll score at least like 130 one time and pull off a win. But I just feel like come playoff time, Dame is gonna be Dame. The supporting cast is gonna play hard, play that hard nosed defense. Still, can the Pacers slow them down? We already know the Pacers could go out there and score with the best of them. It's just can they just hold the Bucks to like
No.
exactly.
They play no defense. That's the problem.
We know the Bucks come playoff time, they're gonna at least try to shut it down. At least play some very hard nosed defense. The Pacers, I don't give them a shot. Unless Dame has an off night, they have a chance to win. But if Dame's gonna average 28 plus points a game, it's just gonna be hard for the Pacers to just slow down the Bucks. Because the Pacers can score with the best of them, like I said, there's just their defense is horrendous.
Yeah, it is horrendous. Alero, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, in the chat, he makes a good point. Indiana Pacers are kind of limping here to the playoffs, while the Bucks have enough talent. Even with Giannis's injury, they should be able to take care of the Pacers.
I wouldn't even force Giannis back, man. It's a calf injury. You don't want that situation, with his Achilles or anything like that. I'm pretty sure the Bucks, the way they're constructed right now, could take care of the Pacers.
You're not concerned they might run into a situation like what happened last year with the Miami Heat, and then they kind of have to force them back.
Is there a chance? Yes, still, but this is why you got Damian Lillard in the trade deal. He should be able to handle this series.
Yeah, I agree. They should win. And I think you're actually very generous at actually giving them a game too, because I don't know. I think maybe a sweep could happen. They should on paper.
They're going to score like 130, 141.
Yeah, they'll pop off one game and just win. But yeah, other than that, should be a very interesting. We'll talk about the playing games. We got 2 games in the West, 7th and 8th seed, the Lakers and Pelicans, and then the Warriors and Kings, the 9th and the 10th seed. But before we do that, positive week in the UFL, kid, 2-1. What a game Saturday in the noon o'clock. DC Defenders and Arlington Renegades. Arlington was winning the whole game. Everyone was on Arlington. No one gave DC a chance. And here comes DC with 10 minutes left. With 2 minutes left, they scored 10 points and do a game-winning field goal, 55-yarder walk-off. They win 29-28. It was electric, kid. DC gets the job done. Stallions, can we just give them the trophy? Because they're the best team by far.
And I was scared to lay with them. I was like, I'm gonna stay away with the 7.5. I'll lean the minus 7.5.
It wasn't enough.
They're just so much better.
They're just so much better than everyone else. And it's showing. They beat the Memphis Showboats, who actually are a pretty decent team, and they just blew the bricks off of them 33-14. So yeah, we go undefeated on Saturday. Sunday, a little different. I took the under in the biggest game of the day between the Michigan Panthers. They did win. They covered the -2 against your Houston Roughnecks. Now 0-3, kid. Are we possibly facing a team that might not win a game?
Nah. Come on now, Dill. Don't talk crazy like that. But
I'm just saying.
it's a rough start. Hey, Renegades are 0-3 as well now, so you got to worry about
But
them.
there's
So,
some potential there. At least the Renegades are putting up points. You guys put up 10 points.
well, we scored
I'm
20
sorry, but
today. We scored 20 yesterday. Well, today. But at the end of the day, Dill, the Roughnecks. Like I said, I've been trying to stay away from them. I've been fading them since week 1. They're just not playing good, though. I took the
No.
Panthers 2.5. I think you stood away from this game, right?
Yeah, I took the under. It went way
Way
over, so that
over.
was my
Yeah.
only loss.
I love I'm not gonna say I love the Roughnecks, but I'm a fan of the Roughnecks, and I had to lay the 2.5 with the Panthers. So what that tells you?
Yeah, exactly. And then the last game, loss at home for the home opener in the Aladome. San Antonio Brahmas suffered their first loss against the St. Louis Battlehawks. And now the updated league, San Antonio is 2-1, and they are tied with the DC Defenders. Arlington, like you said, 0-3. Houston 0-3. Memphis 1-2. Michigan 2-1, and Birmingham is 3-0. And I don't think they're going to be losing for quite a while, if I'm being honest. But yeah, we bounce back. We have a nice week, 2-1. Update through 3 weeks, 5-5, and we had that one push, kid. How'd you do this weekend?
Another 2-1 week so far. Every week so far, been in the positive. So take that. Had the Defenders on the money line -115. I stood away from the Stallions game. Should have just laid the 7.5.
Yeah.
I took the Panthers -2.5, and then I took the home dogs, the Brahmas. Ended up losing against the Battlehawks. So give credit to the Battlehawks taking care of business on the road. But I think the Brahmas they'll bounce back.
6-3 on the year so far through 3 weeks, kid.
We doing good. We
Attaboy.
doing good.
I like. Hey, you did good last year as well. So there's plenty of opportunity to make money here. And I'm telling you, some of these kickers, they're going to be called up to the NFL. They're hitting 55 and 57 yarders.
And not even that. They'll remember the kick return change. Just some of these kickers are, if you could kick it far enough down, they won't even be able to return it, Dale. So
I'm glad you brought up the kick return and the kickoff. What you're seeing, if you are watching these UFL games, that is the kickoff that we will be seeing in the NFL. I like it. I think they're trying to force the action a little. It definitely is more exciting. What are your thoughts? You've been watching it through 3 weeks already. We've seen it a little displayed last season. What are your thoughts? Because it's getting a lot of pushback, but I'm kind of for it.
Dale, I like it just because the kick return kind of ain't really impacting the game anymore.
It's boring.
Every year the lock of the Super Bowl is no kick return.
No touchback.
No touchback. And, so to me, one of the most exciting moments in history, at least in my recent time, is when Derek Hester Devin Hester ran the kickback opening kick of the Super Bowl. That was exciting. That's memorable. We see highlights of it to this day. And the fact that one of the most exciting aspects of the game is no longer a factor. I don't get me wrong. Do I love the change? No, but do I like the fact that they're gonna make the game a little more exciting, bringing it back? Absolutely. So I just wish it would have been like back in the day, but I'll take this rule change for now, though, just because we're gonna see more exciting plays instead of just a fucking touchback.
Yeah, I mean that was literally the Bears' only points in the Super Bowl.
And not for nothing, people. With that being said, you also gotta look at the over. You gotta look at the points on that too, because it's gonna be, look at Miami. You're gonna have Jalen Water and Tyreek. You gotta look at certain teams with those. Like the Cowboys, they got the XFL MVP Turpin as a kick returner. So there's gonna be people. Yeah, it's gonna be people out there. It's gonna be successful, especially in the return game in the NFL. So
Oh,
It's just
I can't wait for the because there's not going to be the same special teams that we're used to. They're gonna put a Tyreek Hill back there
yeah.
and try to catch a Tyreek Hill coming off a kick return. Good luck, because it's gonna. I, I don't even know. Like, how do you defend a Tyreek Hill? They're just gonna start put teams are just gonna start putting their fastest player to field kick returns.
Or you fake it with Tyreek and you run it with Waddle,
Oh
throw
my
it back to
god.
like it's so many things you could do, Dill. And
Yeah.
we know the athletes in NFL are just just at a higher level than they are in the XFL. I'm not trying to discredit the USFL and nothing like that. All I'm saying is the NFL athletes are just a little more superior. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is good that there's a league now that, with all the injuries that teams are occurring in training camp, now they're getting a second opportunity at the professional level. So I love to see it. We will definitely see some UFL guys. We saw about 40 of the USFL and XFL players last year get a crack at least a practice squad or the main roster. So definitely intriguing there. But thank you, E. Before we get to our picks for Tuesday, let me tell you guys a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. Is no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry watching the Kings and Warriors game, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's stay on the hardwood. We talked about some series matchups. We talked about some bets that we like for the series. Let's talk about the play-in tournament. It starts on Tuesday. It's included the 7th through the 10th seed. Games start on Tuesday. The first two games are out west. First game, Lakers versus the Pelicans. Right now, Pelicans short favorites, -1 on the spread, -110 on the money line, -110 for the Lakers, +1 on the spread. So they are the underdog. Over under is at 226. If today is any indication of how this game's
Ooh.
going to play, I mean, we got to take the Lakers, kid, right?
Dill, like you said, what we saw from the Lakers dominate in New Orleans. And that's another thing, Dill. We just seen them play today in New Orleans and dominate the way they is. If you're telling me Anthony Davis is not going to be 100%, then okay, the Pelicans have a chance still. But let's not forget, LeBron had 13 assists in the first half. I think that was the any player's high for the whole season. Austin Reeves had a nice game today. D'Lo, Hachimura, Torian Prince, like the supporting cast had a good game, and then LeBron and AD was able to give you what they was able to do. And then on the opposite side, like I said, besides Brandon Ingram, Zion showed poorly from the field. He didn't
Yeah.
have a good game. CJ hit a couple shots. He was looking good, especially in the first half. But besides, like Jones, he had a couple of threes. Murphy, he played pretty well as well. But there was
Kid's going to be
nobody.
good. I'll say that real quick.
Yeah,
I hate to interrupt, but Trey Murphy's going to be good.
yeah. Trey Murphy's gonna be good, but there was nobody really making impactful plays
Yeah.
today that made me like, oh yeah, the Pelicans could go on the deep playoff run. If it wasn't Zion, the fact that Zion had a bad day, and it didn't really show me that he's gonna be able to have a good one on Tuesday, just because the matchups. You got Hachimura who could match up with him really good. You got LeBron who could still sit in the chair when he needs to. You got Torian Prince. You got what's the Cam Reddish? He comes off the bench, so you got so many players that could match up with him. Even Anthony Davis time to time at low. So I think Zion's gonna struggle even on not just today, even come Tuesday against the Lakers. Though, and then if you don't have those other guys making consistent shots around Zion, like Brandon Ingram, CJ Murphy, Jones, I just don't see how the Pelicans could beat the Lakers at home after what we saw today.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on the Lakers. I was able to get a +110 early when the Lions literally dropped.
I got
So I'm
minus
on that.
102.
Yeah, in line, and they're going to continue to move. And I imagine they'd close the favorite. I'd take a guess that the Lakers will end as the favorite or close as the favorite. And I agree. I think for the right reasons, like you just expressed, I think shout out. We got to give Anthony Davis some respect too, because we talk about him being injury prone, played a career high 76 games this season. He was as healthy as he could be. He did come out after the game and he said, quote, no doubt I'm going to play. So I think we could put that behind him. He's going to play tomorrow. And, I just think they have too much, especially down low, especially if Zion continues to struggle. I don't think they could deal with the size, and I don't think LeBron is going to lose to the Pelicans in the first round. I just can't imagine that happening.
And not to go
So,
too far ahead, Dill, if the
yeah.
Lakers do win this game, Dill, it's going to be a rematch of the Western Conference
Yep.
Finals. Oh, boy.
Whew, of the second seed, yeah, and they did not want to do that. They wanted a little time before they ran back into the Nuggets. But yeah, I do think the Lakers win. I think they have too much size down low, and I think they're just playing really good basketball. And let's be honest, they've kind of led the series between the head-to-head matchup between the Pelicans this season. They've won 4 of the 5 games, and they kind of blew them out in every game: 123 to 108, 133 to 89, 139 to 122. And the one game they lost, it was by 10 in New Orleans. So I don't know. I think it might be just a story where they just have the Pelicans number this season, and no shame in that. I think if CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram aren't really hitting shots, this game could get ugly quick. So I'm going to take the Lakers. I think they're the better team, and they're just playing better basketball right now. So give me the Lakers for the first game. And the second game, we got the Warriors taking on the Sacramento Kings, the 9th and the 10th seed out west. Warriors minus 1.5 point favorites, minus 120 on the money line. Comeback for the Kings plus 100. Over under is at 226.5 as well. Kid, how are you going to play this one?
Dill, give me the Golden State Warriors on the road,
Mm.
minus 120 on the money line, Dill. The line might change, but I don't see the Golden State being like a heavy favorite. So give me Golden State on the road, just because still the last 10 games the Warriors just been playing at such a high level. The Kings, like you said, they've been a little disappointing this season, even though they're at home, they got the beam or whatever. But Golden State are a better road team than they are a home team for some reason.
Nah.
So I just feel like Steph and a 1 game win all, you know, they're not about to go
Yeah.
out like that. Steph, Clay, Draymond, even Steve Kerr, they're not about to go out like that in Sacramento. Give me Golden State minus 120 on the money line, Bill.
Yeah, I agree. I got Golden State minus 112 as well on the money line. I'll lay the 1.5 if you want to get the odds down just a little. But I do think in a one game take all, I think the Warriors, like you said, they're playing better basketball. After the Draymond incident, 8-2 to finish up the season. They won 8 out of their last 10 games. They're playing good basketball. My worry is on the road. You know,
Yeah, but they're a better road team than home team, Bill.
which is crazy. 25-16 for the Warriors, and at home for the
They're
for the
1 game
Sacramento
above.
Kings. Yep, one game above exactly. So I don't know. I think in a one game take all with all the experience, championship pedigree, Steph Curry and Clay, Draymond, they're not going to allow
Even
Sacramento
Steve.
to win. Yeah. So I agree. I took Golden State on the money line as well. And yeah, we have our Eastern Conference matchup, 9th and 10th seed, the Hawks and the Bulls, and then we have the Heat and the 76ers. There are lines out now. Gonna gauge it. Do you want to give out your plays for Wednesday, or do you want to wait for the Wednesday episode, kid?
We could wait for the Wednesday's episode, Dill, but I got plays out now for the people that's already listening. I always you'll get this number now just because the Philly 76ers has been playing ever since Embiid went back, winning 6, 7 straight or 8 straight
8.
games.
Yep.
Give me the Philadelphia 76ers at home minus 4.5, Dill.
Mm.
Can the Heat win this game on the road? Yeah, I give them a shot, Dill. But to be honest, he looks good. Tyrese Maxey been playing at a higher level ever since Joel has returned. Tobias Harris, he's still an X factor. Can Jimmy? I do like Jimmy Butler over his point prop, whatever it comes out at. Just because every time he plays Philly, he goes at them. So I expect Jimmy Butler to have a huge game, not a big game, but I do expect 76ers to take care of business at home. And then, Dill, to be honest, this was a tougher one to come down on. Atlanta Hawks take on the Chicago Bulls. I love how the Chicago Bulls play your Knicks. They're going down to the wire. Caruso play pesky defense. DeMar DeRozan can still drop you buckets. He got Valanciunas down low. But I'm gonna take the Atlanta Hawks +3 on the road, Dill, just
Mm.
because I just like Atlanta a little more. I think with Murray, Trey Young, they can hurt you. And to be honest, I trust them more down the straight late game to knock down those tough shots, to knock down those free throws when needed. We both know Trey Young. Say what you want, he is ice cold. Trey Young. He's like that, Dill. I know you're not the biggest fan, but you at least have some respect for Ice Trey. I think he gets the game down, nip and tuck down late, and he closes it out. Give me the Hawks +3 and sprinkle something on the money line.
That's the only game I don't have a play for. I agree. I think I wish I got the opening line. Philly opened up a -4. They're up to -4.5. I laid the 4.5. I think that's fine as well. I agree with you there. I think they're going to be too much, especially
Embiid's
down
gonna be too
low.
much. Yeah,
Yeah,
Embiid's gonna
especially
be too
down
much.
low. For this Atlanta game, I have a my worry is you're confident in the Atlanta Hawks, and I just don't think they're playing good They've lost 6 in a row, kid. Even with Trey Young coming back, that is my worry. Chicago's actually played competitive basketball.
Yeah,
I think they have the more talented roster. Obviously, Trey Young's going to be the best player on the court. My problem is all the guys you mentioned, Vucevic, you have DeMar Rose and Alex Caruso, who's all NBA defense. Let's not
yeah.
forget that. So they have some pesky guys, and I like Billy Donovan. I think they have a better coach as well. So if anything, I would lean to Chicago. I think they're the favorite for a reason.
No, don't get me wrong, Dill. I just feel like it's gonna be a nip and tuck close game, and I just trust Murray and Young to bring it in a
That's fair.
close game. Then I do, DeMar DeRozan and
Hmm.
company. That's all. That's all. If it's a
Yeah.
if it's a blowout, by all means, Chicago's gonna take it business. But if say it's a 5 point game with 3 minutes to go, I just feel like Atlanta will win that game.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair, kid. But yeah, if anything changes, we'll be sure to have it on our Wednesday episode. But yeah, if you guys want to go check out Elvis's action, all of his plays for the NBA, props are not out just yet, so wait a little, and then I'm assuming Elvis will have props out for
Check
the
Tuesday
game.
by noon. I'll have them out
Yeah.
Tuesday by noon. I'll try tomorrow, but I'm not sure if all props will be out by tomorrow. Maybe some, but not all.
All right, kid. Thank you so much. Let's go on over to the MLB. We got 15 game MLB slate for today. And let's start with the first game. Your new Red Sox, Boston Red Sox hosting the Cleveland Indians, 11 a.m. here on a Monday. Cutter Crawford going for the Red Sox, Xavier Curry going for the Indians. Red Sox -125 on the money line, +105 for the Indians. Over under is at 9.5. Big win today for you guys on a Sunday. Can they make it 2 in a row?
Still, I think we make it two in a row. Still, early bird gets the worm. I think the Red Sox are gonna just wake up and be ready to win this game. Still, even though we went through a rust patch, especially last week, able to take care of business on at home today. I think we take care of the Indians. Give me the Boston Red Sox -125 on the money line. You got Curry on the mind for Cleveland. You got Crawford on the mind for the Red Sox. I like Crawford especially in the morning time. Though, give me the Red Sox.
Yeah, I think the way Cutter Crawford's been pitching right now, 0.57 ERA. Kid's been dealing. Big win. They get to stay home. Gonna be a nice day in Fenway tomorrow. I love them. I think -125 is a really good price. Think we're getting a discount. Give me I agree. Give me the Red Sox here on the money line. Let's go to the next game. Yeah, that was the only day baseball we got, but at least we get day baseball. 6:35 Eastern here on the East Coast. Baltimore Orioles hosting the Minnesota Twins. Cole Irvin going for the O's. Louis Varland going for the Twins. -155 for the Baltimore Orioles at home. +130 for the visiting Twins. Over under is at 9. What's your play here, kid?
Still, to be honest, I want to go with the money line with the Orioles. Shop around. I see -150, -148. It's a little high for me. Do I trust them on the run line? No, but do I think they're the right side right now, yes, just because Minnesota, they just started off slow. I don't like how they've been playing, especially on the road. I think, to be honest, got to go with Baltimore on the money line, though. Even though it's a little rich, still, I think that's the best way to go about this game. That's my lean. We'll see come tomorrow if we take it official, but definitely Baltimore is the right side.
I'm going to go on the other side. Give me the Minnesota Twins, Louis Varlin. I know he hasn't looked all the best, 9 ERA, 0-2, but I think this is a good time to fade the Orioles right now. They haven't been playing all that good. They're up and down. They lost 2 in a row and got kind of blown out in both of them, giving up 22 runs against the Brewers. Brewers have been on a hot streak. I would take the over, though. I mean, both teams have been over teams. 9 just seems a little low. It's going to be a windy day tomorrow at Camden Yards as well. But 4-4 here at home so far to start the season. Minnesota's actually played better on the road, 5-3. Think they could be live. If Louis Varlin doesn't get shelled, I think they could be live at plus 130. So I'll take a shot here with the dog early on. Let's go to Philly. Aaron Nola going for the Philadelphia Phillies. Cal Quantrill going for the Rockies. Minus 265 for the Phils. Plus 215 for the Rockies. Over under is at 8.5. What do you got here, kid?
So this is a stay away for me. If I have any opinion in this game, will be a slight lean on the run line with the Rockies. Do I think they could lose this game by one? Absolutely. Do I think they could win this game against Nola? No. But can they get some runs against the bullpen late? Possibly. Though I think Colorado could possibly lose in a close game, but with Nola on the mound, I'm not gonna put money on it.
Yeah, everything kind of seems sharp. I don't want to lay minus 122 on the run line, even though Aaron Nola, it's kind of looked better after those first 2 bad starts. Cal Quantrill has not looked good. 0-2, 7.20 ERA. Don't want to take the Rockies. Lost 4 of their last 5. And, I eventually, even though I give shit to the Phillies, I do think eventually with that lineup, with all the power they have up on top, I think eventually they will turn it around. So, going to stay away from this one, but I do think Philly is the right side. Let's go over to Detroit Tigers hosting the Texas Rangers. Rangers with Michael Lorenzen going minus 122 on the money line. Reese Olson going for the Tigers plus 102. Over under is at 9. What do you like here, kid?
Though we saw the Tigers start off so hot this season, now they getting back to the norm. You could say at home. Though I just feel I'm tempted to take the Rangers still. On the road, I think they take care of business. But can the Tigers repeat what they've been doing early in the season? I don't know. Can the Rangers wake up? I'm not gonna trust it on the road, Dill, but that's my lean. I do like the Rangers, but at home, on the road, I don't love it too much.
I low-key want to take the Tigers really bad. I want to fade Michael Lorenzen in his first start. It's going to be his first start of the season. Reese Olson, it's not the best pitcher, righty for the Tigers. Rangers lost 2 in a row. Last 2 against they lost 2 or 3. They lost the series to Houston, and they haven't been playing all that well. Some sloppy baseball. Tigers kind of up and down. They lost 2 or 3 from Minnesota. So both teams kind of struggling coming into this series. I don't know. Tigers 2-4 at home. They don't play good at home. Texas 3-2 on the road. They're actually better on the road. It's a stay away. It's either dog or pass. I gotta see Michael Lorenzen pitch before I start backing him and laying money with him. If anything, at least a minus 123. So I gotta see Michael Lorenzen before I start backing him. So it's a stay away for me as well. Let's go down to Miami. Marlins hosting the San Francisco Giants. Kyle Harrison going for the Giants. AJ Puck going for the Fish. Giants road favorites minus 120 on the money line. Miami home dogs at even money. Give me the minus 120 with Kyle Harrison and the San Francisco Giants. AJ Puck is awful. It's like puke watching him pitch. 0-3 on the year, 5.91 ERA. I saw him live against the Yankees. He actually didn't pitch all that bad, but San Francisco, with the lineup that they have, I just think they're going to be able to score a lot of runs off AJ Puck. So going to take Kyle Harrison. He's a much better pitcher. I think he hones in and kind of settles in his third start. So I'm going to take the Giants here on the road, minus 120.
Yeah, Dale. I'm not no official play for me here though, but I do lean with the Giants on the road. I just feel like they're the better team, like you said. Pook, he's and Harrison is the much better pitcher. Though Miami right now, they're just one of the worst teams in baseball. It's hard to back them, so I'm a heavy lean on the Giants.
All right, we'll go to the next game in Tampa Bay. We'll stay actually in Florida. Tampa Bay Rays hosting the Anaheim Angels. Zach Eflin going for the Rays. Patrick Sandoval going for the Halos. Rays minus 155 favorite, plus 130 for the Angels. Over under is at 8. Two bad pitchers here. Eflin, 6.35 ERA, 6.57 for Patrick Sandoval. Are we just going to take the over here, kid?
I think we have to, Dill. This is another stay away from me. Do I think Tampa will take care of business at home? I lean Tampa, but the money line's too rich, and I'm not going to touch the run line. So it's a stay with me. I will be at the game Wednesday. Angels taking on Tampa Bay, so Boots will be on the ground. People, hopefully, I got a play for that game. But this one, stay away.
Oh yeah, you definitely gotta have a play. I mean,
have
it
to.
just you have to. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, no play for me either. Let's go to the next game. Very good game, I think. Up here in Canada, Toronto Blue Jays hosting the New York Yankees. Lewis Gill going for the Yanks. Chris Bassett going for the Blue Jays. Minus 115 home favorites for the Blue Jays. Minus 105 for the Yankees. Over under is at 9. Close on the books, kid. What do you think?
To be honest, I'm surprised that the lines are this close. I think that the Yankees should be at least more of a favorite. I understand, Bassett, give or take, he's either going to have a good outing, but to be honest, I think the Yankees lineup might just smoke them. Give me the Yankees on the money line minus 105. I believe in Bassett, but you got to give credit to the Yankees and how that lineup has been hitting this season so far.
Yeah, I mean, after that loss to kind of Miami to suffer their first loss, they kind of been rattling them off here. 8-1 on the road too. The way they started the season on the road for the Yankees, but you know, Toronto's been playing much better, I would say. Toronto's been playing better, I think. I don't know. It's a stay away game. It actually, in all honesty, I was leaning Toronto here, minus 115, but just stood away. Let's go to the hottest team in baseball, the New York Mets hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates. Mets minus 122 on the money line with Adrian Hauser going. Martin Perez going for the Buccos plus 102. Over under is at 8.5. Elvis, give me my New York Mets. I'm going to take them for the first time this year. Minus 120. Think they're the right side here. We've been playing much better baseball. We won 3 series in a row now. 6-4 in our last 10 against the Braves, against the Cincinnati Reds, and then the Royals, who were coming in red hot. We took 2 or 3 from all 3 teams. We're hitting the baseball now. We have one of the best bullpens. Our team ERA is really good as well. And I think we get to the Buccos. Buccos have kind of regressed off to that hot start now, 10-5. They lost 3 of their last 5. I'm going to take the Mets at home. I'm going to back them. Let's see how they do.
The one thing I can tell you about the Mets at home, the game will go under. Give me the under 8.5, Dale. Even though, like you said, Mets ERA up there, you do have one of the best bullpens. I give you that, Dale. But I just don't trust the bats on either side. Is the Mets the right side? Possibly, Dale. But give me the under 8.5. I think I see the Mets win 4-2.
8, 9, 10. Yeah, a top 10 bullpen. I was just counting the bullpen. Us and the Red Sox are tied for the 10th slot, a 3.34 ERA. Very good, E. I like it. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm going to take the Mets here. It never really goes my way when I'm backing my team. We'll see how it goes. 4 games left on the slate. Let's head out to Milwaukee. The Brewers hosting the San Diego Padres. Joe Ross going for the Brewers. Joe Musgrove, the Battle of the Joes, going for the Padres. Padres road favorites minus 135, plus 114 for the Brewers. Over under is at 8.5. Give me another dog here, kid. I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers, 10-3 on the season. And I just think they are just the most complete team right now. The way they're playing, the way, how many years we've been doing this pod? 3 years now, and every year the Brewers, what's their issue? They can't hit. The pitching's always there. They just can't hit. 11-5, 11-1, 9-5, 7-2. They lost today, but at least they were scoring runs. This team, is scoring runs here especially at the top of the lineup with Dunn, Wilson Contreras, William Damas, Reese Hopkins. Great addition. I mean, even Perkins, the center fielder in the 9 holes hitting 318. I mean, this team has hitters on hitters everywhere in the lineup. And I actually think they're the better team right now. Give me the dog plus 114 at home. Disrespectful.
Yeah, Dale, give me the dog as well. Give me the Brewers plus 114 on the money line. No, you got to, what we always say, you got to fade the Sunday night, Dale. The Padres are playing
Yep.
the Dodgers right now. Even though
Having to
Musgrave,
travel now.
having to travel, even though Musgrave, I love Musgrove, but like you said, the Brewers just been hitting the fire out the ball for these past few games. Even though they lost today, it's just hard for me to believe that they're just gonna slow down. And you expect me to a traveling team that plays on Sunday night to go in there and take care of business on the road. Tough task, there.
Tough task. Let's go out to Houston. The Astros are hosting the Atlanta Braves right now. The Braves minus 118 favorite, plus 100 for the Astros. Over under is at 9. We got Darius Vines making his major league start with the Braves, and we have Spencer Arrigari going for the Astros. Oh, you hear the thunderstorm. Oh, it just came down. Yeah, it's getting nasty out here. I'm gonna take the Braves here. I mean, at minus 118, kid. When are we gonna get the Braves? I know the kid's making his major league debut. I think we'll see actually some runs, but with that lineup 1 through 9, it's one of the best lineups. I know they're 8-5. They're gonna continue to figure things out. Minus 118 is an absolute steal. Give me the Braves.
Yeah, like you said, I caught minus 122. Still such a great line. You got to fade the Astros. They just been disappointing this season this far, and I also lean the over as well, just because we already know the Braves are going to put up some runs, but the Astros have a small chance. They're either going to go or they're going to blow, Dill. So give me the Braves money line minus 122.
All right, let's go out to Oakland. Athletics hosting the Cardinals. Sonny Gray going for the Cardinals. Ross Stripling going for the Athletics. Minus 175 for the Cardinals. Plus 145 for the Athletics. Over under is at 8. Any action here? You back in the Athletics?
Nah, Dill. Even though Strickland's on the mound, I like him, Dill, but I'm not. I'm just gonna stay away. Do I trust St. Louis to relay the run line? Absolutely not. Do I trust Athletics to even upset them? I'm not gonna go there, Dill. I'm just gonna stay away.
Yeah, after our Blackburn day, they kind of fell off a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. I mean, they are getting close to something I would take it. If they get to plus 155, like 10 more cents, I think they're worth a sprinkle. I'll just say that. I still kind of want to see a little more from Sonny Gray coming off of that injury. So, 7 and 8, they're kind of been disappointing as well, the St. Louis Cardinals. So I think it actually should be a lot closer than a lot of people anticipate. So if we get 10 cents or more, maybe I'll take a sprinkle on the Athletics, but they are getting up there for me. Let's go out. 2 games left. Diamondbacks hosting the Chicago Cubs. Merrill Kelly going for the Diamondbacks. Ben Brown going for the Cubbies. Diamondbacks minus 142 home favorites, plus 120 for the Cubs. Over under is at 8.5. What do you like here, kid?
I like Arizona Dill on the money line minus 142 at home. I didn't go to the window with it, but I do like Kelly on the mound over Brown. Do do I think Chicago is live dogs? Yeah, but in Arizona, pitcher ballpark, I just think Arizona gets it done. I think Kelly gets it's just a better pitcher. I'm gonna lean the under 8.5 just because Arizona's bats was slow all season, and I'm not gonna go with the money line. I'm gonna just lean the under 8.5 just because I don't see a ton of runs being scored on the board.
I'll take it. Fuck it. Give me Merrill Kelly and the Diamondbacks minus 140. I see minus 142s are out there, but minus 140. Shop around. I think it's a decent price. And remember a few days ago, I was talking about, they've been inconsistent. Ever since then, I think maybe they hurt us. They've rattled off 5 of the last 6 wins. They're winning ball games. Pitching has looked good. Who dominated today for them? It was what's his name? It was Zach Gallen. dominated, just pitched a shutout for them. They have the pitching staff, and now they're finally being able to score some runs. I think they'll get to Ben Brown of the Cubs. So, yeah, give me the Diamondbacks on the money line, minus 140. Last game on the slate, Mariners hosting the Cincinnati Reds. George Kirby going for the Mariners. Frankie Montas going for the Reds, minus 148 for the Mariners, plus 124 for the Cincinnati Reds. Over-under is at 7.5. What do you like here, kid?
So just because Frankie Montas is going on the mound,
Fade
you
him.
know what? You say fade. Give me the Cincinnati Reds as the dog of the day, plus 125 on the money line, Dill. I understand Frankie Montas, hit or miss, though, but I just have a feeling I don't trust Seattle right now. It's just been, I'm going to just say slow start. Do I think they can turn it around come May, come June? Yes, but I pick Seattle to win to win the division, though. I just haven't been seeing it. Kirby, it's a small chance you get smoked, kid. To be honest, give me Cincinnati on the money line plus 125.
I see plus 134s out there, so shop around. Ooh, you're right. I always picture Frankie Montas as being that bad pitcher that I once knew, but he's not. He hasn't been that bad this year. 2-1 with a 2.16 ERA, much better than George Kirby's been pitching. You're right. They have been playing better. They won 3 in a row. They just swept the White Sox, 4-1 on the road. Seattle's a very inconsistent team at plus 134. I think it's worth a sprinkle, kid. Good call. I actually like that play. And then the last game, no lines out yet, but the Dodgers and Washington Nationals really not going to touch it. Tyler Glass now going for the Dodgers.
I see the lines there. It's a huge Dodgers heavy favorite, minus 360 on the money line. Washington sitting at plus 290. Over under sitting at 8.5. You got Edon on the mound for Washington. You got Glosson on the mound for the Dodgers. To be honest, still.
Let me see the
run line. Let me see the run line.
Minus 156. Yeah, you can't even touch it.
Yeah, stay away.
If anything, take the over 8.5. I think we'll see some runs, but other than that, yeah, it's just so, like I said, that's the hard part taking the Dodgers this season. They're going to be, especially against the bottom 5 teams, they're going to be anywhere from minus 280 to over a $3 favorite. It's insane. But thank you so much. Can't wait for basketball playoffs. Hot take: first round of playoffs are they're not the most exciting. We kind of could pencil in who's going to win.
To be honest, though, the West is loaded. The East first round is a little weak. To be honest with you. To be honest, the most exciting
first rounder
is going to be your Knicks versus either Miami or Philly.
No, I was going to say best first round of playoffs is hockey. It's electric. First round of playoffs is electric.
And wild card baseball. So.
Oh, there's nothing like wild card baseball. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Yeah, the atmosphere is just electric. But thank you so much. That is going to do it for this Monday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, make sure you guys follow along our social media, Instagram and Twitter at the Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. Follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/the Dream Wager. Hit that like button, subscribe, rate, give us a review, comment below who you'll be betting on this play-in tournament. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we will see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.